Okay, you guys, looks like we're about 95% complete now, and we basically are up and running at this point. It did take a little bit of ingenuity to get this thing going, but down here today, what we did is we got the battery installed. Let me tell you, it's a nightmare to get that battery in there, but once you get in there, it isn't going anywhere. It's tighter than shit. But so that was kind of a struggle. Then when we hooked up the starter wire inside here, what we did is we put the starter wire onto the solenoid and we wrapped it in black tape, as you can see, so that you wouldn't have any issues down the road with it banging into the oil tank, so that it wouldn't short the bike out. We did hook up the rear blinkers today. We did get that portion taken care of. What I suggest is you use a little bit of shrink tube. Put the connectors together and put some shrink tube over it, or pull the green plastic off and put shrink tube over the top of the total connector. But you're going to have to pinch them down with the pliers, otherwise they won't connect very well, and you want to make sure you get a good connection when you're going down the road with this rigid frame, otherwise you're going to have to be shorting stuff out left and right. As far as the blinkers go, what we did it down here is we put 2 pieces of rubber around this coupling, or whatever you want to call it here, and it fits nice and tight, so the blinkers look really good. If I can get Matt to turn the bike on here, we'll turn the blinkers on so you can see and hear them. They're very loud, but once the oil tank is on, is covered on the end there, it will quiet it down quite a bit, otherwise it'll drive you crazy. And from my experience, that'll burn out anyway after a few bumps. So the blinkers, even though they're a little bit behind the tailpipe here, no, just blinkers. Okay, so there's your left blinker. You can see how bright it is. On the right hand side, you can see the blinker, so that should be plenty of roadworthy. We have not gotten the tail light on yet. What you're going to have to do with the tail light is we're going to have to take their old fixture here and cut some wires and mount the stoplight, and we'll get to that at the end. The other things that we did do today were we did get the switches on the bike, and that can be quite a nightmare. On this one here, down here on the handlebar, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to score the handlebar right there, so that, and sand the inside of the bracket a little bit so you make a good connection, or the bike will not fire. It'll just, nothing will happen. So you got to be real careful about that. Over here on this other side, we did get the blinkers all taken care of, and we did get the horn to work. We pulled the horn off, hooked up to a battery charger at 2 amps. It works. For some reason I can't get it to work on the switch yet. We're going to be working on that as time goes on. Hopefully we'll get it working, otherwise we won't be able to get it roadworthy. And lastly, what we did was we put the exhaust on, which went pretty well. You got a bolt down here that you've got to line up. But you do not want to tighten that bolt down until after you have tightened down the head with the 2 bolts, and you're going to have an O-ring gasket that's going to go in there that you're going to have to seat down to. Once you fire the bike up, you're going to notice a massively icky stink from the exhaust wrap, and I would suggest not touching the exhaust wrap with your hands. You're going to pay for it for about 2 or 3 days. Just experience that we've had. So the next thing that we did was we were ready to fire up the bike. So Matt's going to get on the bike and fire it up. Probably got the kill switch.
Yeah, I didn't flip this kill switch back.
Sounds pretty good. Alright, that's what it sounds like, and we'll be back for one last video after we get the tail light assembly put on, get the bike fine-tuned, and get the horn working, and fix that last little problem The foot peg down here, we've got to fix that set screw down there so that that stays straight up. Other than that, the bikes, we're going to clean up a little bit of the wiring up in the front too, so that there's not so much wiring hanging up there. We might have to cut some wiring back and do some soldering back there, but in all reality the bike went together not too bad. A couple of things you're going to have to learn as you go along. We also want to check the tension on the chain. We're just not sure if we've got it too tight or too loose because we're feeling a little bit of binding when we run it up in the gears. Actually, I think sometime in the next 2-3 days we're going to be taking it out on the back for a test ride down the road, and hopefully we'll videotape that.